Well, they were the musical dynamos of the 70s and 80s, but while the Pointer Sisters were turning out their flashiest hits, June Pointer was hiding a devastating secret. Now,
the drug use that started when she was only 13.
This was the end of what I couldn't take anymore.
This was Valium.
And then you end up being addicted to crack cocaine.
What she says about singing in concert completely stoned, and more from People magazine.
June Pointer, the youngest member of the sibling sensation known as the Pointer Sisters. Hits like fire catapulted the singing sisters to fame a few decades ago. But June, the baby Pointer, got burned when she suffered a free fall into drug addiction, forced to leave the family affair years ago.
Let the record reflect the defendant is present in court.
Now, after a year's long struggle to stay clean and sober, prosecutors say June fell again a couple of weeks ago. Arrested in Los Angeles and charged with felony cocaine possession and misdemeanor possession of a smoking device. But June, who looked lean, healthy, and in control, told me she's getting up again.
If you fall down, you have to get back up and just keep on looking, and asking God to keep you covered in His heart. And that's what I do. I pray every morning and every night.
This vocalist, the youngest member of the hit-making R&B group the Pointer Sisters, had a few solo songs but found her greatest success in cooperation with her siblings, scoring a string of crossover hits. The centerpiece of today's video is all about June Pointer. Before we start, let's be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and push the notification bell to be sure you won't miss on any more uploads. Now, without further ado, let's cue that intro. Born June Antoinette Pointer on November 30th, 1954 in Oakland, California, June, the youngest of 6 children born to minister parents Reverend Elton and Sarah Pointer, enjoyed singing alongside her sisters. As a child, she and her siblings sang in the chorus at the West Oakland Church of God, where their parents were preachers. By the age of 13, June began performing professionally with her sister Bonnie in a nightclub duo known as Pointers, a pair. Around this time, she also began to confront the substance misuse demons that had tormented her throughout her life. The Pointer Sisters were renamed after sister Anita joined the group in 1969. Ruth, another sister, soon joined in, bringing the total to 4. After an unsuccessful tour in Texas, the trio returned to the Bay Area to sign a management deal with famed promoter Bill Graham. After studio sessions supporting Boss Skaggs, the Pointer Sisters signed with Atlantic Records in 1971. Eschewing modern material and dressed in historical World War II era attire. The group's distinct combination of soul, jazz, and gospel gained critical acclaim and propelled their self-titled 1973 debut album to success on both the pop and R&B charts, followed by the number 11 song Yes We Can. The Pointers follow up, That's a Plenty. Produced the country radio hit Fairy Tale. In 1974, they became the first African American women to perform at Nashville's famous Grand Ole Opry. A string of successful songs including How Long, Betcha Got a Chick on the Side,
How long will this game go on? How long? How long? Oh, how long?
and Going Down Slowly. Boosted the Pointer Sisters' commercial popularity, and the trio participated in the 1976 film Car Wash. However, as June's drug and alcohol problems worsened and her behavior became more erratic, her sisters asked her to leave the group.
Behind the multi-million-dollar success of the Pointer Sisters, there was a secret. June Pointer was addicted to crack cocaine. Now she talks to our Mark Steinis about the lows of being high in this Entertainment Tonight cover story.
Behind the multi-million-dollar success of the Pointer Sisters, there was a secret. June Pointer was addicted to crack cocaine. Now she talks to our Mark Steinis about the lows of being high in this Entertainment Tonight cover story.
I was very good about hiding my addiction. I knew that this was the end of what I couldn't take anymore.
Even as she triumphed on stage with her sisters, June Pointer was growing weaker as drugs and alcohol consumed her life. In the latest issue of People magazine, she reveals that she hit rock bottom when she collapsed before a live performance in London.
Waking with coke up under my nose and someone telling me to sniff, and till this day I don't remember what song I sang, and I was singing lead.
June's relationship with drugs actually began years before she became a star. She grew up in a tough neighborhood in Oakland, California, and started using marijuana as a child.
Well, I could get drugs at school if I wanted to. This is when I was like 13, 14 years old.
As the Pointer Sisters took off, June turned to alcohol, cocaine, Valium, and Seconal. Even her proudest moments were clouded by her substance abuse.
1994, the Pointer Sisters received that coveted star on the Walk of Fame.
Oh, I remember that morning getting drunk as fast as I possibly could.
And then you end up being addicted to crack.
Well, I lost a lot. I lost money, I lost my home, and I lost...
give me an idea how much money you blew on...
No, probably about, I'd say about 20,000.
Just on the crack?
Yeah, now just the last three years. The most important thing that I did lose was my self-pride that I have back now.
She has that pride back because of a 30-day stint at the Promises West LA Rehabilitation Center. And after 50 days of sobriety, she says she owes a debt of gratitude to her sisters, who forced her out of their act with promises that she could return only if she kicked the habit.
What would you say to them? I mean, those who you possibly let down or disappointed?
Well, I'd say that I'm human, you know, first off, and I have an illness because I'm an addict. But I'm also a person with a heart and a soul.
She returned following Bonnie Pointer's 1977 decision to break ranks and launch a solo career. At which point the remaining trio abandoned their thrift store image for Bob Mackie designed gowns and ditched their jazz-inspired repertoire in favor of contemporary pop. The Pointer Sisters achieved their biggest hit to date when their seductive interpretation of Bruce Springsteen's Fire reached number 2 on the pop charts. After debuting the new approach with 1978's Energy, the follow-up, Happiness, was likewise a huge success. The Pointer Sisters dominated the hit parade throughout the first half of the decade that followed, releasing blockbuster after blockbuster, including He's So Shy. Slow Hand, and 1982's I'm So Excited. June released her debut solo album, Baby Sister, in 1983, and the single Ready for Action peaked at number 40 on the R&B charts. What they say. While the record failed to meet commercial expectations, its funky, slick approach foreshadowed the sensibility of the Pointer Sisters' next album, 1984's Breakout, which produced 3 top 5 singles, Automatic, Jump for My Love, and The Neutron Dance, also featured on the soundtrack of Eddie Murphy's hit Beverly Hills Cop. Breakout proved the Pointer Sisters' most successful album, going triple platinum and earning a pair of Grammy Awards. In conjunction with the release of its 1985 follow-up, In Contact, June posed for Playboy magazine, but the album failed to match the success of its predecessor. After issuing Hot Together in late 1986, the Pointers headlined their own NBC television special, but as the decade waned, their commercial fortunes plummeted, and in the wake of 1988 series Slammin', the siblings exited their longtime home, RCA, for MOTOWN. In 1989, June also signed a solo deal with Columbia, teaming with executive producer Carl Baersager to release her self-titled sophomore solo effort and notching the R&B hit Tight on Time, I'll Fit You In. The Pointer Sisters spent the 1990s out of the public eye. In 1994, they declared an indefinite break from the recording industry when they decided to perform in a worldwide touring version of Fats Wallace's stage musical for Ain't Misbehaving. June had left the group in 2000, having become hooked to crack and Xanax. She later attended a Los Angeles addiction treatment, but the Pointer Sisters carried on without her, with Roots and Temptation member Dennis Edwards' daughter Issa filling the role. June later spoke up about her personal troubles, but she was unable to get her musical career back on track. She was arrested in 2004 on possession charges and returned to jail just weeks later when her boyfriend filed assault charges. After suffering a stroke and battling cancer, June passed in Los Angeles on April 11, 2006 at the age of 52. Now, before we go, I have a question for you all. What is your favorite song from June Pointer or the Pointer Sisters?